Hello everyone, welcome to this month's Community Showcase. I am Michael Damiani and I'm joined by Daniel Bloodworth.
Yo!
Who is our guest of honor for this month's showcase.
No hot springs today, I hope.
No hot springs.
Astro's Wrath on Friday.
Oh.
The first chapter I come back to is the hot springs episode.
Hot springs, yeah. Alright. It's a specialty of
I put a
Japanese
skip button on the
RPGs.
VOD.
Oh, you put a skip button?
On the VOD.
So we can make our VODs QuickTime events now?
No, well, yeah, because you can put the timestamps.
No, I just
and
realized
then you can just skip ahead.
we can make. Oh yeah! Oh, blood! New
Choose your own adventure timestamps.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's already done this, but
Yeah.
we're late to the
Well,
party.
Isla a while back, remember, did that crazy like salmon globe like thing where like there were links to other videos. I forget how it all worked. I think it was the old annotation system or something.
Mm-hmm. Let me enlarge the size of all this since we're gonna be reading this. I just realized it's a little small on here potentially. There we go. That might help. All right. Don't know if that's more legible. Yep, that looks good. Well, we got some patron submissions for this showcase. We got some written in stuff. We got some artwork. We got some audio. We got some videos to share. Hopefully, I remember how to do this right. I think I have it all set up. We troubleshooted some stuff, and it looks good now.
Yeah, this is all from our patrons. It's tier on our Patreon where you can submit your works and comments and etc. And every month, different one of us will sit in the hot seat, and then usually Brandon hosts, but Damiani is filling in this month.
Oof, this crooked camera, but we'll have to live with it. The only thing I realized I didn't plug in the headset for.
Oh, up there.
Up there.
I'll get that.
Excuse me if you can do that real quick. We don't have audio first, but rather than interrupt these entries, let's get this taken care of. And when Blood gets right back from sending it up, we'll have our first submission. First submission will be from Eric Jackson. Whoop! Yeah. What? Wormhole? I see chat comments right now, chat. Don't think we're not moderating. All right, here we go. Let's begin. First one. Oh, wait. There we go. All right, we're ready.
Coffee.
First one. Our first submission from Eric Jackson. Hey, Damiani and Bloodworth. And eventually Brandon. I hope that you are doing well. For this past week, I've been suffering from some of the worst insomnia and exhaustion I've ever had to deal with, which of course is no fun. I can tell you insomnia sucks a lot. Not being able to sleep is horrible. As a result, I couldn't conjure the energy to record any voiceover or juggling for the showcase. Instead, I shall hope to kick off the stream with a short comment and some well wishes. My brother celebrated the birth of his first child this past month, and in honor of little Benjamin, I wish you all the happiest of tidings, that your health and the health of your loved ones remain strong and rich. May we see the speedy recovery of Milo and offer our love and support for Brandon and Amanda in these difficult times. We who commit so much of ourselves to this community stand vigil to your care. Love and respect, Eric Jackson. Very nice. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next submission comes from James Davey. Hi, Damiani and Blood. Oh, here we go. Gran Turismo 7 is finally here. So I'd like to start by expressing my favorite thing about GT games in general, the soundtrack. The music is simply exemplary, whether it's the cozy lounge jazz, the electro, or Daiki Kasho. GT has by far the best racing game soundtrack. Quick, you agree?
I don't think I agree, but I mean, sure.
Put you on the spot. Daiki Kasho in particular is amazing. I think Day to Live is one of the best songs I've heard anywhere ever. Truly astounding stuff. Is this a really good thing?
Huh? I do like those songs, yeah.
Okay. It's fantastic that a lot of the music is retained from previous Gran Turismo games, especially seeing as they're so dang good. Is there any music Blood enjoys from any GT soundtrack?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's not something that I've like really like set aside and dug into. One of the things that's a little tricky for me with is I feel like a lot of the songs because there's a giant soundtrack and you can go. It's kind of hidden away if you go to the showcase section of Gran Turismo 7, where usually like you see like where people have created like their car designs and photos and replays and stuff. At the very bottom, there's a music list.
Okay.
And that's where you can actually like sample out the songs. I think you might be able to turn them on and off in the soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
And so there's just a huge list there, sort of like Smash Brothers.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like Smash Brothers. Yeah.
There's a huge list there. But the thing is, a lot of those songs only play for during races and replays, and I have music turned off for that because I need to hear car sounds. Particularly for racing. Now with replays, I could probably turn it back on, but and there's also the cool new music replay thing, where you can pick a song and it like cuts to the beat of the song.
Oh, that's really cool.
But even with the replays, because I'm capturing those replays most of the time that I'm watching it, so then I okay, turn the music off for this. So there's like a lot of the stuff I'm not actually hearing, so I'm mostly just hearing the typical like just menu jazz stuff. Shout out to Idris Elba though.
Oh,
rapping
really?
in the freaking music rally courses.
Oh really?
There's a I think it's the second or third one of music rally. There's just like a bunch of people
Am I gonna get to hear this
rapping about
on your
cars.
stream?
I think we'll try to. Somebody said it was exclusive to the game, which is even nuts.
Am I allowed to listen to it on stream though?
That's the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about whether it's a safe song or not.
Okay.
That's the other thing. Is like a lot of this stuff is all licensed. It's like even the classical stuff. It's like not straightforward classical. It's like people like doing like upbeat versions and like mashing songs together. And like I don't know if any of this is safe for recording and streaming.
GT man, Sony. By the way, I just Elba. Shout outs, Huber. Rewatched Pacific Rim 2 days ago. Friday. Holds up, baby. Already. All right, let's finish this submission real quick. Whilst I'm on the subject of Gran Turismo, it's dawned to me that while Forza Horizon games are about exploring an open world expanse, Gran Turismo is about the true love of cars. Both are terrific, but I sense now that Forza gets by because of its open world more than it. Okay, Blood's laughing here. This isn't a bad thing at all, but it now seems clumped in with so many other open world offerings that its only true qualities, despite the franchise's picturesque and enthusiastically crafted settings, is that you can gallivant around in them with cars. Still, there is no other racing game series as gleefully liberating as Forza Horizon, and my concern is more emergent through the state of the industry's penchant towards open-world games over the past decade. I should watch the newest Jim Cosition, actually.
Yeah, what's just funny to me about this is like, these aren't the games that are supposed to be compared. It's just the Forza Motorsport team has now gone from their like predictable rhythm of every other year to when the heck is this game coming out? And so now people are comparing Horizon to Gran Turismo, and like these are meant to be very different experiences. Yeah. Horizon is meant to be a very different game than Motorsport, whereas Motorsport is very, very directly competing with Gran Turismo. So
I've been playing the Grid Legends trial like a maniac, and at first I thought it was refreshing, thanks to the inclusion of the story. Then I peered at the career mode offering, and the reboot's problems reared their head again. There are too many events without any substance. I don't like running through a series of races one after another without context or something meaningful to make them worthwhile. Having said that, it is a good improvement over the reboot. All right. Is Grid Legends up for an EZA review, or will Blood pass on it?
Unfortunately, the timing is just killed. I mean, I'm behind on Gran Turismo, and I got that game early, right? So, and then I don't know if they just forgot or if they saw the beginning of my Legends preview where I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna play this game, and because they ended up not sending me the code.
Okay.
Even though like I've had a good relationship with that PR team in the past, so I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was one of those things. It was like, well, I don't have the time to worry about it, so. That's just the unfortunate situation with Grid Legends and coming out. right before Gran Turismo, but I got Gran Turismo before that game came in. So, yeah.
Saying Blood Pass doesn't sound right. I don't want anyone to end up at a clinic, but on the flip side, it would be a great name for a subscription service or form of ID. At the moment, I'm big on the Getaway and the Getaway Black Monday. None of that Watch Dogs Legion nincompooperi. If you want a narrative-based gritty shooter set in London, you should check them out. Both might be PlayStation 2 games, and almost 2 decades old, but they'll pull you in. On a more personal note, I just want to express my love for Easy Allies and the community. The love and respect moniker is translated wonderfully, especially in the EZA forums I frequent. I've seen many forums spewing negativity and disdain, but the EZA community is one of a kind and something that should be a standard. To my fellow community members and the allies themselves, thank you so much for making EZA as amazing as it is. Thanks for all that you do. Love and respect. Thank you so much. Shout out to our community. Next up from RF Switch. Greetings, Damiani and Blood. So, time to clarify some things, as Blood and Jones were curious. The reason why I have been deemed the patron saint of the showcase, according to Jesse Blue and others, is because I'm always here to gently correct Jones or Damiani. You were both wondering how I was able to know how Jones skipped people before it even came up, and so now I will bring up my system. First, I regularly check the showcase. Besides seeing everyone else's posts, and to make sure to poke people who leave placeholders just in case, I also check my own post to make sure Patreon hasn't eaten it. Point of order. Deeply personal stuff, like bad life experiences or links, get Patreon to eat them faster. Also, be careful when you edit your post on the site. Alright. Second, I also have a Discord. The Artist Learning Collaborative. Many allies, like Eric Jackson or Nick Gothic, are part of it, so I see a lot of behind-the-scenes or work-in-progress stuff that allies make. I will once again post a link to the Discord, hoping that our Mr. Conemans and some of the other musicians come to it, or any artist really. Finally, as Damiani reads the sentence, so am I. I have the showcase post up and am probably either on the post going right now or looking at the one just after it. I learn both kinetically and visually, so keeping the page up helps me pay attention. That's how I know when Jones skips people. It's really nothing hard or complicated. The other reason is that I also love to see the creative talents of everyone, love to hear their opinions, and just want to make sure no one is left behind. Sometimes I mess up, but I am only human, and my life is an abysmal train wreck, so whatever. Okay. Good. No. It also means I can sass Jones, that's always a plus, which always fills me with delight, and I think he feels the same way back when he sasses me. This is a sassy relationship. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm off to go make some stuff. Next month is Huber, right?
Jones has usually tracked that. I'll have to look.
Okay.
But
I know, I just looked at you.
But if they're looking through the history of the showcase more than we are, then they're probably right.
Probably right. Maybe I should spend some time next month talking about a series I finally got into lately, Yakuza.
Nice.
Love and respect, RF Switch. P.S. The tarot card that actually represents blood is the Page of Swords, as logic, reason, and knowledge are but old friends to him, and his honesty and kindness shows in abundance. There you go, Blood. All right, this is from Alex Al. Is it Alex Al?
Alex AI.
Thank you.
Yeah, the font didn't help there.
The font didn't help me there. I apologize. Maybe I should use a different font next time. Hi, Damiani and Blood. How are you today? Hopefully fine. I will keep it short this time. Don't sleep on triangle strategy. People are concerned with the pacing judging from the latest demo. That's me. I'm concerned, but based on what other people have said. From me, it seems to be the right decision to take the necessary time to let all the characters breathe. If you enjoy strategy RPGs, it seems like a good choice. Speaking as a person living in Europe, I hope more peaceful times will come back sooner rather than later, and people can slowly start to work towards a more or less normal life. Love and respect, Alex. And they gave a short update after 16 hours in Triangle Strategy. So far, this is very good and exactly my jam. My goatee so far.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I know Ben started it up the other day and been playing it. Probably, it'll at least be on the next Brain Trap, I would think. We might shoot something sooner than that, but I don't know if that's still in the works or not.
I'm not yeah, I was probably gonna start playing it, at least the prologue demo.
Mm-hmm.
If I can pull myself away, I finished Elden Ring, but still want to keep playing it. But it's like,
Right.
yeah, maybe we should move on and play some Triangle Strategy. But yeah, I'm very curious how it is, but we'll have to see. Also got so many games this month: Stranger of Paradise, Kirby. Holy crap!
Yeah, the nice / weird thing is, it still feels like almost nothing has been announced for April. So,
Oh, and Meg just got more wide open with Forspoken being
Yeah.
delayed out of there. That was like the biggest release that month, and it's gone now. So
so it does feel like people are going to have time to catch up a little bit.
yeah,
Now we'll have to figure out what to do with our schedule if there are no games coming out. It's like, oh, all right,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
more Elden Ring. How many of you guys haven't played your playthroughs on stream, or you gotta play more? Come on, gotta catch up. Our next submission's from Joseph Caruso. After a year off due to the pandemic, I got to return to Magfest earlier this year, the Maryland video game festival with a music focus. Fear not, vaccinations and masks were both mandatory and everyone did a great job complying with the safety protocols. If Blood will recall, my brother who always cosplays as
right.
Voldo won the costume contest again.
I didn't realize it was a repeated costume. I remember the costume contest, but I didn't know they did it multiple times.
Since he is balding like myself, he's finally shaved his head, which really helped him solidify his ability to look and act like Voldo this time. Yes, even cosplayers were masked up, including Voldo. It was the first time I ever got to bring a girlfriend to Magfest, and while I was afraid that it wouldn't be her cup of tea, she really enjoyed the music and the arcades. Probably because she beat me almost every time at any fighting game we tried. There you go. I'm so happy that someone that isn't normally very fond of video games was able to enjoy the event. That's pretty cool. Our highlight was the band Quicksave performing Eye to Eye from the end of the Goofy movie.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. I also got to take my girlfriend to the Smithsonian in DC. Very nice. The last time I was there was a decade ago when they had the Art of Video Game exhibition. Yo, I remember that. I mean, hearing about it, I didn't get to go to it. At that section of the exhibition, they had several consoles set up in some very fancy display cases with about 4 notable games for each console that the guests could play. That's really cool that they could play them. GameStop's corporate headquarters in Texas has a really awesome console display. It's like the history of video games.
Oh, yeah.
But it's behind like glass panels and stuff. You can't actually interact.
Right.
So this is really cool. I'll never forget that I saw a woman who looked to be at least in her 60s and there alone playing the Dreamcast. Nice. It was a wonderful reminder that gaming has always been for everyone and has become much more acceptable than it was when we were growing up in the 80s, 90s, and even the aughts. I guess that's how you say it. 2000s. Nice. I can't wait till we have our first 70, 80, and 90-year-old like career streamers. I want to see.
I think they have them.
Like,
I think they're out there.
they are. I know there's that one grandma who played like Xenoblade Chronicles, but she quit because I guess people are being nasty to her, so it was unfortunate. But like a lot. I mean, like when it's a good sized group of people, like the generation slightly old, like the people are like, you know, maybe slightly older than us, like 10 years older, us entering their 50s now. I want to see them doing that streaming thing for the next like 20, 30 years. Was it Skyrim Grandma? Was that who I'm mistaking them for? Sarah Knight? But anyway, let me know. Next one's from Bo. Hey, allies. I finally bought a Switch this month.
Nice.
I planned on getting one 2 years ago and bought Mario Odyssey in preparation. Nice. But COVID happened and they were all sold out. And then the continuous Switch 4K rumors kept creeping up, so I figured I'd wait for that. Oh. And clearly that's not happening any...
Nice.
There's more rumors, but who knows? So they just went out and bought one, which is the thing you should have done. Congrats. I've just finished Odyssey, and wow, what a game. I've been thinking of this game since playing the kiosk demo in a Best Buy 3 years ago. Heck yeah. And it didn't disappoint. This game is a pure joy to play. Yes, it is. I mainly bought Bowser's Fury, or at least I thought I did. I was tired and wasn't paying attention, and I bought Mario Deluxe instead. Tried it? No thanks.
Mario Deluxe.
The Wii port, the port of the Wii U game, Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
Oh, got it.
Plus Luigi or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've righted my wrong, and Bowser's Fury is currently in the mail. In other news, I've gotten into watching Japanology Plus, a docu-series about Japan. They focus on general things like castles and cats to niche topics like slippers and alleyways. It's surprisingly interesting. You wouldn't think a 30-minute show discussing slippers would be, but it is. Did you know the Japanese invented slippers for foreign administrators because they wouldn't take their shoes off, but the slippers didn't go on their feet but over their shoes? Because I didn't. The show comes from NHK World, Japan's public broadcasting for international audiences. I watched it on their website, but they take down the videos after a few months. The episodes around slippers and takoyaki are getting taken down at the end of March. I'll leave a link to the show down below because it can be hard to find on their website if anyone's interested. Love and respect. If you go to the comments section of the post, which we will make public after this, I think, is over, you all can check that out.
I think I might have seen the takoyaki one.
Dude, I like takoyaki. Takoyaki's great.
But we've definitely had a little bursts of watching stuff on NHK World.
Next one comes from Brandon Kagan. Another month, another grab bag of thoughts for me. I know it's long been old news now, but I'm still trying to process Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard King. Heck, I'm still processing Microsoft buying ZeniMax.
So is Microsoft.
Zing. It does give me hope that the time...
Just saying, Ghostwire's coming out exclusively to PlayStation 5 in a couple weeks. Like, it's a long process.
It does give me hope that the tides are turning for the better for the culture at these companies, and it makes me excited for the potential of more Crash and Spyro games. Moving on, I went and saw both Uncharted and The Batman. For the former, I'm surprised I enjoyed it as much as I did. I do have some qualms, mostly revolving around this interpretation of Sully, but I really enjoyed this version of Chloe. The quest treasure was both unique for Uncharted, yet still feels like it belongs to a game, and Tom Holland did a better job being Nathan Drake than I was expecting. I also got a kick out of all the references, Easter eggs, and the obvious cameo. As for The Batman, I think it's really solid. I didn't feel like the 3 hours dragged, and I liked these versions of Catwoman and Riddler. For gaming, I played through Unpacking for the first time, and it was chill and relaxing 4-ish hours. While I wish it was longer, it's a good thing to be left wanting more as opposed to wanting it to end. Very true. I don't think I've ever played a game that left such a calming effect on me. I'm sure if it came out sooner, it would have been a great candidate for mindful games. While some of the item placement felt finicky at times, it worked for me with how my brain is wired to have everything neat and orderly.
Yeah. Unpacking's up for quite a few BAFTAs, I think, too. Pretty cool.
Yeah. In addition, after getting the strong desire to replay one of my favorite games of all time in Pokemon Red and Blue, I don't own copies anymore, so I did some research and made the impulse purchase of buying Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm enjoying it so far. Not quite to the new stuff yet, but I'm having a great time, though I'm mixed on the recaps of what you did previously when you load a save. Oh, I never played them, so I didn't know I did that. It's cool. In the short hours where I can't do lengthy gaming, it's great for chipping away little by little. However, for those weekends where I can play many hours, it's all about Horizon Forbidden West. I'm a good deal in and I'm loving it. Whenever I'm not doing any gaming, it's always on the mind, and that's a great sign. I know with how little time I can really dedicate to it, I'm not going to be done before the next big 2022 game I'm interested comes out in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So for the first time in a very long time, if ever, I have the fear of having a growing backlog. Must be nice. First time in a long time. Wow. And all of this isn't even mentioning Ghost Runner had DLC come out just days before the showcase called Project Hell. I also want to dig into it. Oh, nice. I did get happy. Brian Happy Gaming, I got your submission. I think I just put it at the end by accident of the text things, but I did get it. Saw that in chat. Just wanted to...
And thanks to Modi and Krevik for subscribing.
Thank you. Next comes from Ian Alexander. Hey guys, first I just wanted to tell Blood that he's been killing it as the podcast moderator.
Thanks.
Good job, Blood. I've been enjoying streaming the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster on YouTube and been getting into GT7 over the weekend. Not sure when I'll get around to Horizon Forbidden West or Elden Ring, but I kind of want to let the hype die down a bit and wait for some inevitable patches to get the best experience. I'm like that way for TV shows and some movies. I love to go back to them when the hype is gone so I can feel like good going in without any expectations.
People arguing over map buttons, man. It's craziness out there. No. I haven't played the game yet either, and I hear all about it.
And Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, you've had some interesting thoughts on the Pixel from what you've seen of the Pixel remasters.
Yeah, I haven't seen 6 too much. I heard that they took the credits out of the opening sequence, which I thought was hilarious because you're just sitting there watching them walk forever. And then somebody, I think it was Lena Rain, the composer for Chicory and Celeste. She was talking about there was like some wind sample that they had changed that was kind of iconic for the time, and then an older translation of like all the Moogle names changed the Moogle names. So it doesn't have quite the same, the gimmick that was going on with the Super Nintendo translation.
It's a bummer that, I'll say this real quick, it's a bummer that the Pixel Remasters are like it's this way or the highway version. It's not like an all-in-one type definitive edition.
Yeah, I would really like for them to have like an emulated Super Nintendo version included with the Pixel.
I want more than that. I want them to give you the way to play like the original every type of graphics version they've done. So if there's I want like that. I want to be able to change graphic styles. I want translation versions. I want from the menu to pick which version of a translation so you could see them all, and then the ability to go between the different arranged versions of the soundtrack and the OG version. Like, they can do that.
Well, in Final Fantasy IV, like the difficulty balancing is all over the place on that game. Every version of that game has a different level of difficulty.
Pixel Remaster is the easiest. The only difficult part's the final area and final boss. But that would be a great one. PSP version though, that is probably the best version of Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection. But sorry, back to Ian real quick. Also, I'm interested to hear more about Triangle Strategy because Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games of all time. But at the same time, I really dislike Fire Emblem. Wow, no! So I'm not really sure if Triangle Strategy is going to measure up to my lofty expectations. Keep up the good work, guys. Love and respect, Ian at Alexander_arts. Woo! That's all right. No, not every game's for everyone. I love Fire Emblem, but I will say the one reservation I have about playing Triangle Strategy is because those leaks, the NVIDIA leaks, well, not the most recent one, the older one, which had Chrono Cross Remaster, which turned out to be true. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is another one.
Right.
And while I don't expect they would put it out in the same year, you never know. I never played through Final Fantasy Tactics in its entirety.
So you'd rather play that first?
I'd rather play that first before going into the Triangle Strategy because I might be worried about that. Next up from Level Copy Bara. Hello, Mr. Daniel Bloodworth, and hello, Mr. Michael Damiani. I hope both of you and the crew are doing well as the year marches on. And I hope you're both taking an occasional break from the critically acclaimed Atelier Sophie 2 to give Elden Ring some much-needed attention. They're both pretty great. Seriously, though, I'm especially excited to see the two of you on the showcase this month. There's a topic I'd love to get your wisdom and insights on, since you two in particular seem well-equipped to handle... with the power to handle it. So I saw the title and skipped ahead. My
boy.
brain cheated there. So muster all the courage you can, allies, because the topic is Zelda music. Oh boy. Nearly 25 years ago, Ocarina of Time. Shit. 20 years ago? I'm done. Showcase is over. I'm retiring. Bye. 25 years ago. Oh, God. Why'd you have to say that? Ocarina of Time kickstarted my interest in gaming and music making. But all these years later, it's still tough to pinpoint exactly what Zelda music is, especially since Nintendo sound teams have successfully shaken up the series' instrumentation and genre conventions from game to game. Even the approach to composition is subject to radical change, as evidenced by Breath of the Wild's sparser, more eclectic body of music. Needless to say, pinpointing exactly what makes Zelda music is deceptively difficult. But who could be better suited to task than the creator of Soundtrack Club himself and the man for whom the way of the hero will surely lead to the Triforce? Thanks. So then, what makes Zelda music Zelda music? What do you suppose are the guiding principles of a good Zelda soundtrack? And if Nintendo decided one day to completely abandon all the familiar Zelda themes and come up with a fresh Zelda soundtrack from scratch, how do you think the music team would go about accomplishing that? Love and respect. Level Copy Bara. P.S. It's Rune Factory 5 release month, everybody. Get hyped. Man, I feel bad because I want to say I don't know if I ever thought about Zelda as having like Zelda-esque music. Like Zelda music was like unique sounding. In fact, much of the earlier stuff to me, probably before pre-Wind Waker, felt like the usual Koji Kondo fare of music. Like Mario, Zelda, I would just hear like similar like themes and like motifs in them basically, even though they were like their own soundtracks. It's hard to say it. I do like the thing going forward though, like Wind Waker onward, I felt like they did kind of pick some themes, like like with instruments, and kind of stuck with that. But instruments is kind of the thing. Maybe I don't know if it's made necessarily the soundtrack blood to me. Is it's like the use of instruments in games, and like having like an ocarina, flute, or some other device, a musical device.
Yeah. It's weird. It's hard because there's definitely a mixture of things. If you've never heard it, I don't know how available it is. If try to get a hold of the recording of there's a now this has probably been 15 years ago now or so now. There's a Mario and Zelda big band live concert that they put an album out from, and that is really cool to listen to, and even you can even hear like the crowd joining in and stuff at points. Very cool there, but. Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned Breath of the Wild, and like if anything shakes up the formula, it's Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of music there, but it's not the kind of like big bombastic brass and stuff that you associate with the main Zelda theme. So it's definitely gone from sort of having that sort of very regal and heroic to having, you know, the kind of the more flamenco influences that came in with Ocarina of Time and the Gerudo Valley and then Dragon Roost Island as well. And there's just like a lot of different things there. It's a little hard to unpack it thinking about it all at once. But I definitely say that there is a lightness to it. You know, even when there are dark pieces, like overall there's a playfulness there. There is a sort of simplicity to the notation, so that it does create that sense of an iconic theme.
I think that's a good point. I've never I'm sorry, I'm not a music composer, so this is
I'm not.
This is just my take on hearing it.
Talking out of ignorance.
The simplicity part really hit me because I feel like Zelda's music has always been, while very good, it isn't. And you said light, which is a good way to put it, because it's not very heavy, not generally very sweeping. Like the most epic song I ever heard in a Zelda game was the 2017 Breath of the Wild trailer music, which isn't even in the game. I mean, they've had like overworld themes that have been pretty good, but just to do a very cut and dry comparison, I always thought any Final Fantasy soundtrack blew away a Zelda soundtrack because of like the more complex nature of them, the compositions, and the fact that most Final Fantasy games starting way earlier went for use of like an orchestra, went for like more advanced sounding pieces like that sounded more like true instrumentation, even though some of it was still digitized. Whereas Zelda, for the longest time in a lot of Nintendo games, they were very elegant, but they still were they weren't going for that kind of feel. Like, remember how long it took for people to beg like Nintendo, please give us an orchestra soundtrack for a Nintendo game, or like especially Zelda. And then we got in Mario, like Galaxy. Like when Galaxy had it was night and day. It mattered so much, and it took a while for Zelda. I think while you said Breath of the Wild definitely has it more sparsely like interwoven. If you actually buy the soundtrack, it's massive. It's like 4 discs. And there's a lot of great songs on there.
Also, a lot more piano driven.
Yeah, it's really good.
I would say
I love when they do that stuff, like Wind Waker, like kind of like the Celtic theme a little bit too. I mean,
but still like some genius composition, like the freaking the fact that I'll never get over the fact that they took Zelda's Lullaby and played it in reverse, and we got a completely new theme out. It was like, wait, what? Excuse me, Skyward Sword, what? And then the same thing with the Koss song in Breath of the Wild. So good. Like you learn to listen for that accordion, and it's so cool. And then when you hear the full rendition, it's like, oh crap! Just the ability to do that, and that's what I mean by playful, is like they do so many different neat little things. They do so many interactive things, like raising the sails in Wind Waker, and so it's definitely driven a lot by. And I think that's the thing. Like you talk about like Final Fantasy, right? And it's like there's the complexity of the composition itself, but Final Fantasy is generally they play a track.
Yeah.
Whereas the playfulness and stuff with Koji Kondo and with Nintendo's teams is like, no, they're making video game music, and so they're doing all of these different compositional layers and things.
The layering's the biggest thing.
And I feel like a lot of the industry took a while to catch up to that. That because other composers weren't really starting to do that until, the 2000s-ish.
It's also partially like technology, because like doing those seamless kind of like layering effects, or even just like seamless like transitions with those high quality compositions, you needed the bandwidth, and you needed like the sound chip on there that could handle that. But yeah, you're right, like the layering, like the simplest thing of like how the music that gets more like up tempo when you encounter an enemy in like a lot of Zelda games. Like it adds like the extra like sounds or instruments on top of there. Just something they did much earlier than a lot of other things. So it's definitely one of their staples. The only thing we didn't answer, I'll say, is the thing about going from a soundtrack from scratch. I feel like Breath of the Wild was as close to that as you could get. I mean, it has some of the familiar themes here and there, but so much of it was new and unique. So I mean, they kind of did it, and then even in Skyward Sword, they kind of moved away from that in the last 2 Zelda games. Think of like Zelda's theme is pretty much the staple that hangs around now. Is the one you almost can kind of like count on, or a variation of it. But like the classic Zelda theme, I mean, it's in the like having it just play like a sweeping version of that, like even Ocarina of Time. Remember, there was a big deal when Ocarina of Time's Overworld did not use the classic Zelda theme. It used a different theme, and that was a big deal.
It was.
Yeah,
it's also an interesting thing that you've seen over the years that they've pulled away from that, because it's like, okay, this is just too big and too brash to just have going like constantly, you're, especially as you're exploring something as large as the overworld in the modern game, right?
Yeah, it makes sense, because it felt weird coming back in Majora's Mask. Like, people are like, yay, it's back! Oh, it's kind of like, I don't know if it works as well.
Everything about Majora's Mask is made to feel weird, though, so that's actually a strength.
I don't know if it was intentionally done that way, but maybe it works in the end that way, so... Yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like they could definitely try it.
Majora's Mask is psychological horror. Come on.
Psychological horror, man. Next submission from Small Leviathan. Howdy, allies. I waited as long as I could before writing this post, hoping that getting as much playtime into Elden Ring as possible would help crystallize my thoughts. But even at 66 hours, I struggle to find the words to describe how I feel about the game, and that doesn't just sound like hyperbolic praise. Elden Ring is an unbelievable video game, and I mean that in the most literal way. I cannot believe a game like this exists. It feels like it should be impossible for a game like this, for a game this big, to be this big while having this level of quality across the board. It's easy to be dismissive of Elden Ring. It's just Dark Souls but open world, is an opinion I've seen more than once. And like, on one hand, if you didn't like From Software's particular style of action RPG before this, then Elden Ring probably won't change your mind. But it also really isn't something you can just dismiss out of hand, because calling it just open world Dark Souls really undersells just how much From Software's level design sensibilities are amplified by this small change. Every part of the overworld feels as methodically crafted and deliberately structured as any of the areas from Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, and the legacy dungeons, their name for the more traditional levels, are some of the best in the entire Souls lineage, having been designed with the exact same kind of freedom in mind, letting you explore rooftops to the same extent as castle halls and city streets. But what struck me the most as I kept playing was that I couldn't believe how there was always something more. There were at least 3 or 4 times where I was convinced that this time surely I've seen every area the world had to offer, but the game just kept going, expanding outward at every turn, and even when I think I finally hit the end, facing a cliff or an impassable castable wall, I soon realized that the labyrinth level design spirals downward, revealing massive caverns or hidden ruins so large I found myself speechless. There's a lot to talk about besides the world itself, of course. Combat feels the most polished it's ever been. Player movement is a bit slower than Dark Souls 3. Rolling in particular has definitely been nerfed compared to how fast and spammable it was in that game, but it's fast and responsive enough to feel good. One of the biggest improvements, however, is that basically all weapons feel like they have legitimate use. A lot of the previous games would inundate you with weapons that simply had no purpose because there were other choices in the same category that were simply better in every way. This doesn't seem to be the case anymore and is a welcome change. But what my mind keeps wandering back to is the scope. It's not just that every part of this game is so finely tuned, it's that there is so much of it. Elden Ring feels monumental, like a turning point for our art form's history, something all games in proximity will be compared to going forward. And it could very well be my new favorite game of all time. Love and respect, Small Leviathan.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because we were just talking about Breath of the Wild and just that, that criticism of like, oh, it's just, Dark Souls but open world, and I haven't played Elden Ring yet, so I don't know, like, what my opinion there is. But, like, when people, like, say that with Breath of the Wild, is like, it's not really like a Zelda game that much. It's very different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things there that still not a lot of open world games are doing. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, again with the Twitter debates, I've seen a lot of people, decrying other open worlds as map games, quote unquote, or as checklists and things like that. And it sounds like there's not a whole lot of that going on in Elden Ring.
No, there isn't. I don't know if I really want to get into that. I mean, I'll just say the thing, not every game has to do the same thing as everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine for one game to be this, another game to be that. The piling on other open world UI stuff seems like it's a funny thing for a day, but it persisting longer than just being a funny meme for a day. The dialogue, I hope it doesn't get any more serious than that, because there's absolutely a place for those other types of interfaces and styles of games. Like, come on, like.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely had times where like, I've definitely had times in Ubisoft games where it's like, I think Watch Dogs was the one where it bugged me the most, where like you're trying to like follow these clues, like do this kind of detective style mission, but it kind of didn't matter because every time like the location would just pop up on your map and it was like, well, I guess I'll just go there. So that's something that I do think is interesting to me with Elden Ring having a map and seeing how that plays out, because I just feel like sometimes it's like even having an open space on the map
Yep.
implies that something is there.
Yep.
So, whereas there are definitely times, you know, like when we played the first Dark Souls, and you find some of those areas, and it's like, how I could have missed this, like entirely. Yeah,
that's definitely going on here. I'll say, if you look at the map, zoom in closely enough, you'll start to see structures that will be telltale signs that there's something that's there. They're like repeat, like they're not icons, but like you'll be like, oh, that means this. That means this. I mean, not always, but there are definitely things that give you contextual clues for. But yeah, some people like the best kind of sum this up. Elden Ring, to me, because of its lack of tracking tools and in-game tracking mechanisms, other than like you can put down markers on yourself, how cryptic it is, it feels like to me. It feels like playing Final Fantasy 11 in terms of like I'm on a wiki all the time. Like all the information's online. Like it's designed. It's like they want a community to come together and put all this information together. And to the two groups of people are managing both the interactive Elden Ring maps. Thank you so much. So awesome that you're doing that, and makes for people who just want to pop open a window and like actually track stuff. I'll just say the map interface in Elden Ring, I don't like it. You can't. It's you can bring up a menu for your quick warps and stuff, like you'll see. But even on the PC version, you can't use your mouse to just click on stuff on the map. Like I was like, what? Mouse? I want to click on, like, why can't I click? Oh my gosh, like it's kind of cumbersome. But that's a lot of things. Anyway, Robert Lee, greetings, Mr. Bloodworth and Mr. Damiani. I hope you're both doing well today. All my gaming time in February and this month have been devoted to trying to beat the Valkyrie Queen in God of War on Give Me God of War difficulty without taking any damage.
Oh, no.
Wow. I can say without a doubt that it's insane and relentless, and I can't remember the last time I cursed a boss this much. Cursing bosses, huh? I might know something about that. Heard the bosses in Elden Ring are tougher than this one, so not sure I want to take the plunge.
I mean, I don't know if it's tougher than trying to not get hit on the hardest difficulty. I mean, we all had a hard time with that boss, but we're playing on normal, and we were scraping to the end of our lives.
I want to see a no damage run of a certain boss in Elden Ring. With not over-leveled and no cheese. I want to see like a melee build version, no damage one. And by no damage, I mean she can't... Oh, I said enough. You know what you know the boss I'm talking about. I kind of give it away there, if you know. Anyway, whilst taking a break from seeing Kratos get pummeled, I noticed there's a game called Weird West due to be released later this month, which reminded me of the last time I played and enjoyed a game I knew nothing about, Hard West. An isometric turn-based western with supernatural elements. Released in 2015, this game had me hooked. It's swimming in sevens, and the genre is right up my alley. When was the last time you went into a game without knowing anything about it? Sending best wishes to the Jones family and all the allies, keeping Easy Allies going. Bloodworth, I hope you're finding time to sleep between everything else you do. I would have understood if you had to cut some shows this month. My heart goes out to all those affected by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Love and respect, Robert Lee. So blood. When was the last time you went to a game without knowing?
I've definitely had them. In terms of last, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think I really knew anything about Artful Escape when I jumped into it. So that's a sort of recent one, at least. So yes, that was very interesting to see where that game went. And that's why it was like one of my picks for like best game to play in one night, because if you go in blind and you just go on the ride of that game, it's like, wow. It's just this psychedelic, blow your mind kind of experience. And it's, you know, and it's weird because like the game has very simple mechanics. Like you get almost like insulted for that if you want. But it really kind of works for what it does. You know, again, it's like just grab your guitar and hang on.
Yeah, they look cool. It's very rare for me to go into a game not knowing anything about it, just because I'm a little bit more, definitely more picky about stuff. I want, like, if I haven't heard about it, I want someone to tell me that it's like okay, like decent to play, like good. But back at game trailers are a great many deal of titles that I had to play that I didn't know a lot going into.
Right. I didn't really know that much about Solar Ash going into it, and I think that was sort of intentional on their part. Like even looking at the trailers, like you really didn't know what the heck that world and that story was going to be about.
I don't think I knew too much about Lost Ark technically. I mean, I saw what it was, but like I didn't know any real details about it. So I'll give, but like it was getting buzz, so I was like, "What's Lost Ark?" I mean, I saw some images and I'm like, okay, it's got controller support. Let me try it. So that was probably the last one I went into. Like I didn't know any of the story, didn't know anything serious about it other than like what it looked like, probably. Our next submission comes from Samo Roseman. Aloha, Damiani and Blood. First off, I would like to wish Milo all the best for a speedy recovery. I hope everything returns to normal as soon as possible. For this month, I want to start by going on a slight rant. I recently installed the GOG Galaxy gaming client on my computer because of a few free games I got from Prime. I tied all my gaming accounts to the client and found it an extremely handy tool to keep track of all my games across all the platforms that it supports.
I've never done that. I just boot my CD Projekt games and GOG games, but yeah.
It's very cool and somewhat daunting to see your entire library in one place, which can make the must-play backlog seem equally intimidating as well. But I noticed a few things as well, like how many times I bought certain games just so I could play them with certain friends that only had those platforms. I had Borderlands 1 and 2 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox because that game was really popular among my circle of friends at the time. Having to buy that game multiple times for that purpose just seems kind of BS now that I'm older. Modern conveniences like cross-buy and cross-play alleviate some of these issues, but sometimes I just want to play a game on my PC and sometimes on my computer for the big screen experience.
Console, yeah.
Huh?
Console, you said computer.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. Certain living world games, more to be honest, should allow the ability to add on different platform licenses if you already own the game for a vastly discounted cost. Destiny 2 has been a recent culprit for this issue. Sometimes I want to play on PC, sometimes on my TV. Do I really got to get full popped on both platforms? Work something out, seriously. Moving on, I just have a couple of things to share. I recently did some spring cleaning and found a few treasures I forgot I still had.
Oh, it looks like this one had pictures.
They didn't include the pictures?
Our Switch is going to tell us.
Our Switch. I know you stepped out, but I don't remember seeing pictures on this. I will double check after we finish reading this. Yeah, let me bring it up real quick. I have it right here.
Hello, Mojo Jojo.
We're looking this up real quick.
Chat. While we're waiting, did everyone else have like 45 minutes worth of trailers for the Batman? If anyone else that saw it,
yeah.
It's like the longest trailer run I've ever seen going to the movies. I know it's been a few months since I've actually gone to a theater, but holy crap. I'm like, oh, people are going to see that movie. Pack it in there. I don't know how much of that was the Batman or how much of that was like going to AMC, which we both did, so we had the same experience. Mojo Jojo almost fell asleep because they went to a midnight showing.
Okay.
Namzor.
The format. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so I will have to. Give me 1 sec.
I'll drag him in.
I will get this.
Yeah, Damiani's gonna be on the spoiler mode, so I won't. But I probably won't. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely like that there seemed to be a character arc there. We don't often get. We are also talking about a piano piece at the end when the credits start. Like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing that piano in the theater with the sound.
The entire the Batman soundtrack is for free on YouTube if you want to, like, official. Like, they put it on their Warner Brothers Music or Watchtower or whoever has that. Just Google the Batman soundtrack's like the first result. Freaking fantastic.
But it's funny because I saw some people kind of questioning why maybe people won't go, won't want to go to the theater for like a 3-hour movie or something like that. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I might want to go to the theater more for a 3-hour movie because it's sort of like it makes it sort of worth your while, like worth making the trip. Does that make sense? It's like people are binging like full Disney Plus shows on a weekend now. I don't think they're that intimidated by 3 hours.
Yeah.
The only thing is the bathroom break. I did find a good spot for a bathroom break though, where I came back and my wife was like, "Yeah, nothing happened."
Okay, funny thing. 30 minutes into the Batman, I had to go to the bathroom really badly, but I didn't want to because at that point there was something good going on, and like fought it for like the next 10 minutes, and then like got over that like hurdle and didn't have it bug me again for the rest. But I was like so freaked out. It's like, yeah, okay. So I got the images. I apologize, Samo. Moving on, I just have a couple things to share. I recently did some spring cleaning and found a few treasures I forgot I still had. So, a working first-gen PS3 FAT. PS2 games, here I come again. So, nice working PS3 FAT. I got one too. Hopefully it keeps working for a while. Okay, next up we got some Star Wars original VHS box set of the Star Wars trilogy. So, here's the front.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this version.
Yeah, I have the one that's like
Crazy.
Gold or whatever. It was the special edition one.
I have both that one and I have the one
Vader's
before
face.
It that was like the THX whatever, where they didn't change the movie but they remastered the audio or something.
My brother, someone had that too, and then here's the side of it, so you can check out that.
Oh, nice.
That sick insert, like that Fox video, baby. Look
nice.
at that. I'm sorry we went a little out of order. This is a art photo one, so I thought this was a text only submission. So apologies to everyone else. A recent furry addition to my extended family is next up. Yeah.
Nice.
They rescued an abandoned kitten from my auntie's workplace. She's really shy unless you start working on the computer. Then she will harass you till content. My uncle's productivity has dropped considerably. There you go. That is exactly how it happens. Mm-hmm. And then one more here. Aw, yeah.
Nice.
That's all for this month. As always, mahalo nui loa. I hope I got that right. Do you know how to say that, Blood?
I think it's pretty close.
Is it nui or nui? That's the only thing. And then loa. I don't know how to say the middle thing. For everything you do, love and respect.
I feel like Hawaiian is pretty distinct with their vowels, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But the sentiment, thank you so much. No, off the community showcase page, back to here. All right, next submission comes from, let me go back to full cam, from Tegan. Greetings, gentlemen. What Breath of the Wild did for The Legend of Zelda in 2017, Sonic Frontiers could do for Sonic the Hedgehog in 2022. The first thing to know is Sega is putting in a huge effort and the financial backing behind Frontiers, along with other nice touches such as tapping Archie Sonic comic writer Ian Flynn for the story. Additionally, Frontiers will be an open zone world experience fully utilizing the massive power of next-gen consoles to create a game where Sonic can run as free and as fast as ever in a variety of lush landscapes at blistering speeds. And this is some marketing writing right here. While the specifics of the game set across the Starfall Islands is still unknown, we recently were given some cues to Frontiers' overall direction. Sonic Team's creative officer
Takashi Iizuka.
Oh, I thought there was two I's there. Is that an L? Why would they have... Yeah, okay.
No, I think that's an I. That's uppercase I.
Okay. I thought maybe I copied it wrong. Recently stated Games Radar, we're once again expanding the Sonic universe, bringing in new environments and additional features to create a totally new type of open zone experience. We focused on bringing Sonic to the next level and ensuring that he's fully represented as the character that fans know and love, while still making his new form exciting. And Sonic Frontiers will introduce new combat styles to bring Sonic's signature dexterity onto the battlefield, and the new exploration options obviously play into his iconic speedy nature. We are challenging ourselves to deliver an all-new style of Sonic action adventure. Street Fighter 6 was officially announced on February 20th, with Capcom dropping a tiny teaser showing off an intimidatingly sized Ryu and a more seasoned yet exciting-looking Luke sizing each other up. The trailer undoubtedly sent gigantic shockwaves to the FGC, turned the heads of many casuals, and exploded the minds of Street Fighter fans everywhere. The most notable observation was that Street Fighter 6 will clearly utilize the power of the Reach for the Moon engine, as seen within the toe-gripping...
What an engine name.
I know, man. Toe-gripping in-game engine character teaser. With a backing hip-hop soundtrack, the RE engine was fully flexing with its intense realism of facial design and body tones, while simultaneously showing off beautifully nuanced details like dripping sweat and indented scars in the flesh. This, however, is still a Street Fighter game, and it is safe to assume much of the presentation will be stylized, as one could see a hint of color on Luke and a splatter of calligraphy on Ryu as they drew into their respective fighting positions. Taking a game like Devil May Cry 5 as a reference point, we can easily imagine the furious action and visual spectacle in store for us during any competitive match. Additionally, please take note that displaying such graphical prowess also signifies this is a massively financed title, and Capcom is serious about its initial success and ongoing future. Even with an underwhelming logo at the trailer's finish, the robust voiceover proudly announced the game solidified that Street Fighter 6 will be distinct amongst its franchise history, and a special enterprise for all those willing to fulfill their own fighting destinies. Love and respect, Tegan Cambodi. Oh man, Street Fighter 6. Can't wait to see it in action. I think that's our biggest question mark about that. Is seeing it in action and what features it's going to have, what modes are going to be there. All right, it is time for
my car.
Okay. Yep. Time for some pictures.
You could turn that into some kind of challenge.
Yeah. First up from Brian from Happy Gaming. Hello there, allies. No review from me this month, unfortunately. Initially, I had plans to review Baldo, the Guardian Owls. Shortly after starting it, though, our cat Riku started experiencing a medical issue that quickly escalated to an emergency operation. I won't give too many details for anyone who's squeamish about medical stuff, but Riku successfully made it through and has been improving every day. I really wanted to thank the community for their love and support on the EZA Discord when things were at their most stressful. In the meantime, though, I've still been able to catch up on some gaming because my girlfriend and I have to give Riku pills every 4 to 6 hours. We finally finished up Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nice.
In all honesty, it sparked something deep that had been dormant for me for a long time in gaming. I spent a lot of my childhood playing 7 on PlayStation 1, and so when we were playing, I would excitedly point out the differences and similarities as they arose in Remake to my girlfriend. Immediately after finishing Remake, I pulled out my copy of the original PlayStation 1, and we started that. It was just as exciting to point out those same differences in the original as the Remake, as she got to see them firsthand this time while we made our way through Midgar again together. Overall, it's given me the spark that I had forgotten. I had to discover games from all generations and appreciate them all in their unique ways. Hopefully, I'll be able to have a review up for next month. In the meantime, though, I've been very busy, not sleeping, and taking care of a kitty, so I'll leave everyone with some pictures of our guy. Love and respect, Brian from Happy Gaming. So here we go.
Yeah, I similarly, when I played through Remake, I had I just pulled up a walkthrough video from somebody and just kind of watched, the original version back to back.
Here's our guy right after he got home, a little sedated, but happy to be back. Man, cats do not like the cones, man. Mm-hmm. They do everything to try and get them off. Initially, he couldn't get on the furniture, so I'd hang out on the floor so he would have company. He didn't have a ton of strength first, but always loved having her company again. Aw, kitty. As he got back on his feet, he was able to continue more of his typical routine. He was doing his usual lap sit at my desk.
That's a classic keyboard right there.
Yeah, that is old school keyboard right there. So cool. It's a little bit bigger. He wasn't able to clean himself at first because of his stitches and cone, but he was usually happy to have help. Especially recently, he's gotten back into the habit of watching birds out the window.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Here we are, having not slept more than 3 hours at a time for a week. Oh, dear. Oh, he's sleeping kitty. Oh, long story short, we're happy to have Riku home. Sleepy kitty. Oh. Very glad to hear that. Next up from Sarah Knight. Hello, Damiani and Blood. Hope things are going well for you guys. I'm going to be a little personal here. There will be no drawing video this month since I went to see a doctor a couple weeks ago and said that I was stressed. So I took all of last week off and just played some Animal Crossing and Great Ace Attorney 2. Before I went on this break, I did some artwork that has been pretty popular in my shop, and I have yet to complete the set. I'm sure Blood will understand once he sees them. Basically, 5 down, 5 to go. Hope you guys enjoy them. Continue to stay safe and be awesome to everyone around you. Much love and respect, Sarah Knight. P.S. Anyone wants to buy any of these, they'll be available at my shop at tplug.com/users/art of Sarah, which is also be in the comments. So here we go. Here is Sarah's art. Start with.
Nice.
So we got Mirabelle first. Oh, I can't ever do this correctly. There we go. Very cool. Then we got Isabella next. These are so good. By the way, all the art submissions we got, you all are very talented. Holy crap. We got Louisa here.
Nice.
Very sick. And then we got Dolores. So good. Still amazed people can draw so well. It's like so foreign to me, but so awesome to see. And finally, we got Camilo here.
Nice. Yeah, and then the 5 to go.
Very good. Very good, Sarah. Oh, let me hide that first. Thank you so much. And yeah, and you can check those out at her shop. Next from Moe Grant. Hey, Damiani and Bloodworth. I'm happy to finally be back with an update on issue 2 of the new Luminaries. Quick recap. The story revolves around a mysterious event that causes some of the world's most notorious villains to randomly appear throughout the city, and it's up to a team of unexpected heroes to step up and save the day. Last off, when we left our heroes, Marisa and Ezra had set off in hot pursuit of the villain Razorwing after their battle in Marisa's apartment. Meanwhile, across town, the museum was still under siege by the Jack-of-all-trades and his flying pirate ship when the courageous Neko Orenji jumped into action to stop this assault. The below images are 3 sets of in-progress images from 3 pages of the second issue. Each set contains the initial pencil drawing stages, inking stage, and coloring stage. The pages are still missing the final touches and lettering, but each set gives a good look into the behind-the-scenes process of making a comic book. As always, a link to our artist's Twitter and website are listed below. The first page is a shot of Marisa and Ezra as they race through the streets on Ezra's system cycle. So here we go. Yeah, this is gonna be insane. This is like insane. So this is the pencil.
Optimus Prime.
This is the ink.
Mm.
So insane. And lastly, this is the color. Holy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. The second and third pages show the initial confrontation between Nako Orenji and the Jack of all trades as Nako gracefully dodges the ship's cannon fire. So this is the pencil. Yeah, this is like, holy crap. This is the ink. Jeez. And this is the color. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And then here comes page 3. This is the pencil. What's up? I like that. Here comes the ink. And last comes the color. So good.
Wow.
There you have it. Very impressive. Holy crap. Next up from Nick Gothic. Hello, Damiani. Hello, Blood. I want to talk more about my comic, The Ingrid's, how do I pronounce it?
Maneuver.
Thank you. A crime drama set in 1960s London. Previously, we talked about Jeremy Arthur's, a hip mod law student. Previously, we talked about Jeremy Arthur's, a hip mod law student, cool as a blade and driven by impulse. And today, I want to show his 2 closest mates from law school. All right, so we got pick 1 here. These also blow me away. All right, so Gunny Toparov's a whimsical guy from Einfield, and he's a big softy who's often nervous, cowardly, and is quite bad at concealing it. He's practicing law to become a barrister. Barrister, sorry. Barista? That's like, no, don't say it. Don't say it. That is an attorney. And is hanging around with Jeremy because he likes the feeling of fashion and presence in his social circles, even though he doesn't like to participate in mod fights. So, all right. Let's go to pick 2. And we got the description for pick 2 and 3. Well, let's see pick 3 quick. Oh. Gunny is a gay man in a time where homosexuality was still outlawed in Britain and is the most expressive, conscious, and responsible of Jeremy's bunch, always serving as a moral guideline for him and someone with whom Jeremy often shares really intimate moments of reflection. And then you have Lexi Pickerbank coming up next. Pickerbank. There you go. Wow. Lexi's got a smug, eternal poker face of confidence in him. And Lexi's aim is to become a solicitor who would handle paperwork duties for a bank that would be founded and managed by his equally cunning twin sister in a large bid to make both of them extremely rich. Outside of his pragmatic ambitions, Lexi's the type of person to get pulled in by trendy exotica. He always talks about taking a holiday to Thailand or the virtues of Indian cuisine. He listens to Calypso to seem cultured, even though he makes very little attempt to learn more profoundly from the cultures he tries to escape in, and would doubtlessly still demand old comfort even if he would visit them. All right. Finally, the last one's coming up. Let me get pick 5 going here. The 3 of these chums got a reputation for being troublemakers at the London Law College. And over London, they become really fab skins, excelling in fashion, their mod bikes, their taste in jazz, their pool skills, and the occasional footy. They are the hippest, and they want you to know it. And I'm scripting this comic as we speak. Alright, let's take a look at the other ones here. There we go. Look at that. Really good. Last. Look at that. It's 3 of them
There they
together.
are.
Yeah. On a more serious note, the events happening in Ukraine are really heartbreaking, and I'm living very close to that entire region, so I'm watching and waiting with bated breath how my Slavic kin are entangled in Putin's egotistical bloodshed. Airstrike bombing is something I've experienced myself in Serbia in 1999, so I can glean how hopeless this time must feel to my fellow Ukrainians, with Putin's artillery coming to their doorstep. All I can say is that I wish every bit of courage and strength for you to preserve beyond it, and know that the whole world's standing behind you. Next up, from Tearju Engi. Hey, Damiani and Blood. Movies I watched this month. The King's Man has a slow start, but it does pick up, and I enjoy Matt Vaughn's style of action. I also just watched it recently. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. Maybe not as much as the first one, but felt better than the Golden Circle. The French Dispatch was also good. Not sure, but is it the creator's fetish to make...
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Eat something again.
We watched that not too long ago. It's a pretty cool, weird, crazy movie, but yeah.
See these hideous subtitles on black background? Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this up. I got the hideous. Or did I downloaded them? Where did I put them? 1 sec. Definitely downloaded these. Oh, does it not like?
Is it a file format?
I wonder if it's a file format thing. I messed up. Let's see. I'm gonna try dragging this in. I'm sorry, it's gonna appear for a second. Okay, it works.
Okay.
All right. And I can just hopefully update these. All right. See these hideous subtitles on black background? That's on Disney Plus and ruining the experience. And if you know a Wes Anderson movie, you know there's lots of fast dialogue, that doing it without subtitles is hard if you're not used to it. So there you go. Plenty about the black background subtitle stuff right there. Uncharted, spoiler mode, pretty much said all my thoughts on the movie. It was fun with a friend, but the characters were just them in real life. I will never understand Marky Mark's popularity. He did have some fun dialogue, but overall he's just not good, especially as Sully. Alright, this is my final monthly Chun-Li I've been doing for a year now, and just finished last week on her birthday, so I put more time on her, on her headpieces. So here we go, I got that. Yeah, it's so weird how it... Oh, maybe it needs...
No, it just doesn't recognize it as an image file. You just gotta drag it in.
Alright, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Sorry. So here is that. Yeah, I hate how it does that. So unprofessional. I apologize.
Oh, okay. So that's a thing that goes in her hair. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one there.
Yeah, then I got another one right here for you.
What is that file format?
It's a weird version of JPEG that Twitter does, which is... I could have converted it, but like it looked fine. Very nice. Make sure I'm deleting the right thing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of images from them too.
Yeah. You can see more steps I go on it on Twitter if you're interested. Bought GT7 25th Anniversary Edition and gave the PS4 digital code for to my older brother as an early birthday present. Sadly, extra stuff was all in one voucher with the PS4 version, so I don't get them. Also bought Elden Ring, but can't play it yet because I'm going through Horizon Forbidden West. Had a major glitch yesterday that I could not melee aside from stealth, and I was going through a cauldron, and oh boy, it really takes away a lot when I have invested in it. And I didn't want to start over, so I just went with it and reloaded after saving. New tools are fun to use, but a huge shout out to melee taking up a huge improvement. Sound and visuals, especially when a storm is nearing or it's raining, are fantastic. Biggest improvement is definitely the characters. Way more into it since the side characters and quests are so well done that I've enjoyed doing them a lot and helping making Aloy a better character. Jeez. I still hate and feel bad about killing animals to upgrade pouches. Just made it to the coast. All the love for Jones's family. Love and respect. Tearju Engi. Let me get those horizon images up here. We got some of these.
A lot of good screenshots.
Yeah, we got some of these really nice screenshots here. A little paragliding here.
The paragliding animation kills me though.
Oh yeah.
Because she's got it like everything on one point rather than spread out, and so it just looks exhausting. Like the whole time, she's just barely holding on and trying to navigate that thing. I don't know if it changes later, but just the shots that I've seen of that thing is just. Yeah, no wonder you don't play that very far with that.
Got that skyline there. Next up.
Nice.
Oh wow, is that like jumping off?
Full on Breath of the Wild skydive right there.
Look at that. That looks really good. Good shot.
Nice sunset.
Almost like a selfie.
Yeah, the first Horizon had a lot of funny things you could do with the photo mode. So I'm not surprised they've carried that over.
Yeah, good lighting there. Yeah, it looks like another action jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
Different environment this time. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting that mountain right in the center there with the sun and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this really big. Just look at that.
Yeah, the expressions.
It's pretty good. I think this is the last one.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. Yeah.
That water.
That looks good. Very nice shot. Good stuff. It's a fun picture there. Keep that there just in case we have another issue. Actually, no, we're to the audio section now.
Nice.
Let me just double check. Let's go through all our pictures. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We'll need to dig through that at the end to figure out what we'll put on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's usually what Jones picks and like, oh,
all right.
I'm going to have to do that.
See you, Sarah.
I'll also have to go through, look at how he writes the descriptions and figure out what do you say.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'll go back to full cam for this. Alright, first from Michelle Jackson. Hello, Damiani and Blood. I had wanted to show some gameplay this month, but long story short, catastrophe struck, and the game files were corrupted. Thankfully, I saved my assets separately, so none of them were compromised. But that build of the game is totally lost. Jeez.
What?
Yikes.
What?
Honestly, I'm kind of devastated. I'm not looking forward to putting the pieces back together. I'm trying to look at it as an opportunity to make a better version of the game from the ground up. Anyhow, all I can really share is music, so here are the 2 victory themes I've made for Unusuals. Here we go.
Yeah. And then you already got your audio mixed, because I know this is always crazy.
It's very low on
yeah.
here,
okay.
So it's going to be max on this player. So chat, just let me know if it's too loud. It's defaulting to lower, I believe. Here we go.
I'll turn up my headphones. Sometimes when I move on the carpet, the headphones shock my ears. It's crazy. Like, not enough to hurt.
Oh, wow.
It's like, click, 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 click. It's happening. Thanks for subbing too, Michelle. Nice.
That was awesome.
Very cool.
Very awesome. Thank you.
Best of luck on getting the rest together. It's always a highlight to see the
Good
updates.
luck.
Oh my gosh.
Our next submission comes from. Is it Karen Little or? I'm so sorry. Jones does this every month.
I think Kieran.
Kieran? Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say it's Karen or Kieran. Kieran Little. Hey, Damiani and Blood. For this month's submission, I had to tip my hat to the gem that is Death's Door. I only got around to playing it recently, but it for sure would have been my GOTY in my GOTY deliberations had I played it in time last year. If EZA hadn't covered it, I may never have played it, so thank you.
Nice.
Jones pronounces Kieran. Okay. Anyway, I covered the music that plays during the Avarice battle rooms, as I just thought
nice.
it absolutely slapped. Please enjoy. Love and respect, Kieran. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very cool soundtrack. Very cool.
Very nice. And our next submission from Kevin Gillette. Hello, Bloodworth and Damiani.
Kevin Gillette on this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said Gillette, didn't I? Sorry.
That's fine.
My submission this month comes from the conjunction of several factors. We've recently had an amazing Nintendo Direct, which brought many things, but no Wario platformer.
Right.
I love Wario platformers. The Wii U and 3DS eShop are approaching their end, and I went back through them to collect everything I could that's going to disappear. And that includes the Wario Land games, though I've already got them. I love Wario platformers. And recently, I bought the Korg Collection, a software reproduction of many classic Korg synths, and I wanted to try them out. Which brings me to a lesser-known Wario platformer, Wario Master of Disguise on Nintendo DS. It was pretty forgettable for me, unfortunately. 6 out of 10 on game trailers, by the way. And that includes the music, except for a few tracks, and one in particular. When towards the end of the game, you come across Allergia Guardians, sorry. Suddenly, the composer, Kenji Hikita, gives us what could have been an 80s pop hit. The clearest thing I remember about this game, in fact, is my shock at this music. So in short, I have old synths I want to try out. I love Wario platformers. One Wario platformer has a banging 80s style track. Let's revisit it for the showcase. Please bring back Wario Land, though. Shake It on the Wii was 14 years ago. Love and respect. Play the file. I'm like, can't wait to hear this. Like an 80s pop hit? What is this going to be?
It's funny because the thing I picture in my head is like Space Harrier. And I don't know if Space Harrier sounds anything like this.
No.
But I get kind of Punch-Out vibes from it. I get Punch-Out vibes too.
No. Ah, yeah. I want to say Pokemon. Pokemon.
That's funny because I was thinking Street Fighter too.
Pokemon. Pokemon. Really cool, yeah. Good vibes. We are now into our final segment.
Video segment.
The video segment. Our first video submission comes from Alexander Zirinov, who I was thankfully able to get their video. Reached out to them because the original link was not working, but got it. It is all good to go. And as they let me know, Jones approved of this very long text submission to preface their video.
Right. Yeah.
Hello, allies. I'm continuing highlighting my favorite Apex Legends characters, and today we'll talk about Lifeline, who, by the way, is a free legend available from the beginning.
Alexander would have gotten that question right on the podcast.
Oh.
Was it the podcast?
The what question?
There was something we recently did where, like, who was the most recent Apex Legend character?
Of course, they would get
that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We were like, I don't know. Maybe it was something else, maybe.
She is also one of the best legends to play, as if your teammates are better and more experienced than you, which makes her a very good starting character.
I just remember what it was. It was probably not something I should have referenced.
Daughter of wealthy parents, AJ Che had spent the early part of her life in a gown. She enjoyed looking good, eating the best food, and partying with other rich families. AJ was never, I hope I'm saying it wrong, AJ, was never interested in where the money came from until one day she and her childhood friend Octavio Octane Silva stumbled on the truth. Che family was profiting on war, selling their robots to both sides. Yo, sounds like a plot point from a Star Wars film. You didn't see it? The second of the trilogy films? They find out, like, this dude's selling to both sides. Yeah. Benicio del Toro's character. Disgusted with her parents and herself, AJ left her home without saying a word and followed Octavio on his trip to another planet. There, she encountered a touring punk band and decided to join the crew. As the band was doing gigs, AJ saw lower-class people, the type she never even knew existed. That's when she decided that she didn't want to do anything with didn't want anything to do with her family's money, and that she would join a humanitarian organization that aids communities in need. Eventually, that organization started to lose money, so AJ entered Apex Games as a new legend, Lifeline, to fund it herself with her winnings. There you go. In terms of gameplay, Lifeline is a support legend. Her tactical ability deploys a health drone that heals anyone in close proximity. This allows you to regain health while replenishing shields or looting the other player's corpses, and to heal minor injuries without spending medkits. V8 Dave is after this one, I believe, but I had a question. Am I supposed to be... The video had audio. Am I supposed to be playing the video while reading this? It's the only thing I'm not sure about. If you know chat, or you know RF Switch, let me know. I could start that up. This allows you to regain health while...
I think it'll be separate.
This allows you to regain health while replenishing shields or looting other players' corpses, and to heal minor injuries without spending medkits. Thanks to her passive ability, Lifeline uses her drone to revive down teammates, so she stays active while reviving and can revive both teammates simultaneously. Also, Lifeline is the only one who can open extra compartments in extended supply bins, and she could do so even if the primary compartment was already looted. Lifeline's ultimate ability calls a care package that contains a better shield, a better weapons attachment, and some healing gear. Care package can also be used as cover, which may be helpful in the endgame. Additionally, Lifeline has short height, so it's harder to hit her from a distance. However, her care package is easily seen from afar, especially when it's landing, compromising the team's exact position. And since Lifeline can revive and fight simultaneously, she is the most desirable target in the majority of encounters. I like playing as Lifeline because her abilities are useful during the entire match, and they are helpful both when you need to play offensively and defensively. In this video, I've tried to highlight her abilities as well as her interactions with Octane, Fuse, and other legends. This is just a small taste. The game has much more than I could possibly show in just 3 minutes. Here we go. Time for our video. Let me make sure it's the right one. Yep, here we go.
Pay attention. You might learn a thing or two.
This extended supply bin is fat with hidden provisions.
I heard that. extra supplies over here. Got some extra supplies. Now then, I gotcha.
I need help.
Help run if you need it.
Recharging shields.
Nice.
Your attentiveness has proved valuable.
Of course, I'm your lifeline. Here's your birthday present.
Here it comes, Kieran.
Targeting the next ring, people. It's set to your maps.
Extended light mag here.
Level 2.
Level 4.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Hell yeah, the chica delivers.
Might be something good this way.
Loud and clear, hermana. We've got trouble.
Good eye, Silva.
Bored. I'm gonna start some trouble.
You'll probably blow yourself up if I leave you alone.
Oh, what a good line of dialogue.
Oh, I could count on you, chica.
Gonna break the rest of your tooth? Come on now.
There's that marker.
There's the drone,
See
yeah.
that shit? Still alive. Hey, hermana, shouldn't you be the one picking me up?
Need to recharge my shields.
Silva, why are you like this?
Who's in each of
Gonna
the
need to carry more bandages down before world's up.
We didn't just become mates for you to cock it, Shay.
Oh, Walter, you did good. Nothing I can't fix anyway.
Thanks. Now we're mates. I can finally tell you where to get the best coldies on Salvo.
You know, for the first time since we met, you're actually making sense.
Hey, you're a whiz on the old toms. I smell a band brewing.
I'm listening. Riley's got style. Not a bad looking bunch.
Time for a bit of a drive.
I'm coming with you. Don't mind me drumming on the dash.
You're not leaving until you teach me the drums, Michelle.
Thanks, Sia. Let's trade autographs after this, eh? Light ammo here.
Don't go thinking I owe you anything. Care package out
This boy. Drop out, why don't ya?
Well, we gotta get those
Gotta
kills.
throw that in there.
Yeah.
You are the Apex champions.
Of course you are. Alright, next submission comes from Radioactive Magic. Hello, Damiani and Bloodworth. Hope you are having a fine showcase so far. You would both recognize my typical showcase contribution each month as a video on studying game design looking at Pokemon and how it could be rebooted. This month, however, things were too busy to get an episode out in time for me to submit here. However, I do have a not Pokemon related video I can show you. My first not Pokemon video, in fact. This one is about the dragon dog fighting game Century Age of Ashes. Just go from the start of the vid and play 3 minutes. For anyone who wants to check it out, there's a shorter video, Fallout video too. Alright, here we go. Love and respect, Damon, Radioactive Magic. Let's get this queued up. And here we go.
You just have to keep an eye on the time, yeah.
I've been playing Century Age of Ashes, and I have thoughts. But before I get started, just a few hours before I release this video, Playwing announced in the Century official Discord about some updates to come. So I'm gonna go ahead with this video, but adding some moments to reflect on them throughout. There is a lot of great stuff going on in this game. There is a lot that Playwing has done right for this game. The movement feels great, the animations for the dragons are masterfully crafted, the game is mostly balanced, and the game modes and environments are off to an exciting and beautiful start. However, there are some decisions in game design and player experience that I would have approached differently. Since I know personally how difficult it is to make a game, I'm going to put forward these suggestions with the caveat that not all of them are going to be viable solutions as I put them forward for Century. How easy or difficult it would be to implement some of these ideas are entirely dependent on what tools the dev team has made available for themselves, how the game has been put together with the design of their coding structures, and even what resources are available, such as how many servers they can run with their budget. I'm also approaching this from the perspective that we are aiming to please the free-to-play player, because pleasing players that are willing to pay you money is so much simpler from there. Considering that most players will be free-to-play, you want to encourage the largest community possible. If you drive away the free-to-play players, then the people who pay you money will have no one to show off to. And as a small disclaimer, I'm not going to say something obvious on this list like fix all the bugs, because of course they are going to fix any bugs. It just takes time. No developer in the world is fine with their game being buggy. Except maybe the people who made Goat Simulator. The ones who made Skyrim. So, before I get into it, I'll go over the foundations we are working with here and some of the great stuff they have done. Firstly, there are 3 major game modes, all of which have 2 teams of 6 players versing each other. There is the Team Slayer mode called Carnage, where you are only out for kills, the Capture the Flag type racing mode Gates of Fire, where you are trying to get the flag through all the gates before the opposing team, and the Spoils of War mode is what I find to be the most interesting, where you have to kill NPC dragons to collect their gold, and then deposit your earnings in your team's vault. It has a few power-ups to collect, like being able to fetch a key that locks the enemy team out from depositing gold, or the bomb that will spill most of the gold a vault is holding outside for anyone to pick up.
Wow.
There are also smaller game modes, a 3v3 version of Carnage called Skirmish, and as part of their first event, an 8-player free-for-all. These game modes are engaging and fun. Next, we have the 3 classes you can play as, with a 4th coming soon. The Marauder is the tankiest, with plenty of firepower. The Windguard grants shields and healing to allies, as well as deploys a poisonous gas trail. And the Phantom has the lowest health, but can turn invisible and drop very dangerous mines.
Oh.
And that's 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Check
Yeah,
out
nice. Yeah.
Check out the full vid in the comment.
It's not one that we've gotten into, so it's cool to see a little bit about it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that before. That looked kind of cool, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out last fall.
Our next one comes from the Void. Hello, Damiani and Blood. I am back with more obscure Mario characters. This time, it's not so hidden one, but interesting nonetheless. This will probably be a nice break between Elden Ring stuff, maybe. Hope you enjoy. Love and respect from the Void, a.k.a. Arthur Enrique Chinaglia. Here we go.
From the Void.
And there we go.
Wario's Woods, the game where for the first time Toad was the protagonist, but his name was not in the title. There are 2 main versions of Wario's Woods, one on the NES and another on the SNES, both released at the same time in 1994, and they are sufficiently different from each other that one could argue that they are different games. For instance, in the NES version you can't pick up diamonds and move them around, which makes this version a bit more difficult, but the major difference is in the game modes. The SNES version has the versus computer mode that introduced a ton of NPCs to us. One of them is Aqualea. Let's take a look at this very uneven interaction between Toad and
funny because I feel like they
Happy-go-lucky
haven't
Toad is all kinds of friendly, while Aqualea
put as much
is
attention on the Super
very
Nintendo
pissed
version.
off, and she's like,
I see you have come to learn my brilliant strategies. You are overconfident, my friend.
When the conversation was over, I swear I was half expecting her to punch him in the face. Then the match takes place. Toad beats the crap out of her. She turns into a fish 3 times. She holds her head like it's falling off or she has a toothache or something. And that's what most people will know of Aqualea. But let's go a little deeper for no reason. When she wins the match, the conversation changes. And this is when things get serious. First, now both of them are pissed off. And now I fully expect punches to be thrown around. Toad is even holding his little fists up. Things are escalating. Then Aqualea wants.
Everyone tells me I'm irresistible.
Damn.
I'm irresistible. Irresistible. Irresistible.
Shut up, bitch! I'ma slap you!
Yeah, you must have lost on purpose so that we could meet again.
Bitch! You
Now, the NES version of this game has boss fights that are not featured in the SNES version.
Whoa.
These boss stages are very chaotic and a nice addition to the rounds mode. Every 10 stages or so will be topped by a new boss fight. But none of these look anything like any of the NPCs in the SNES version, except the mermaid. Oh, is this Aqualea? Looking at the artwork in the NES manual, the answer is no. This is mad. I believe
Mad?
in person, but I don't have anything else to back that on, so let's just leave this
is
here
mad.
as a mere curiosity. Anyway, Aqualea gets the 9th place. Hello Blood, Damiani and fellow allies. I just wanted to add here that I made 2 videos covering 50 hidden gems exclusive to the 3DS worth getting before the eShops close.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm making one on the Wii U as well.
Nice.
And also I heard about Milo's hardships, so I wanted to leave my best wishes of a fast recovery and resilience to the family. Love and respect.
Thank you. Very nice. Oh, mad.
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 Obscure
Mad.
Nintendo character. Mad.
Mad. Very good. Next is from V8 Dave. Good afternoon, allies. After COVID hit, I decided to take up keyboard as a new hobby, and I'm now ready to play some hot video game jams. I figured Blood might like this one, so why not go ahead and submit it? The music of Port Town from
Nice.
F-Zero. Shout out to Jones and Milo. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to hit play. It's weird sometimes.
At least Goral's in front, as it should be.
It is. Faster. That's good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that was really good. Next submission's from John Wingate. Hey, Damiani and Blood. Wingtaku's here.
Wingaticus, I think.
Did I say Wingtakus? Man, I'm bad.
They're rough sometimes.
Yeah. Here, hope you're all doing well. Hope the allies and chat can check out my Twitch and YouTube page, Gameplay Dismay. Streaming all kinds of stuff, but mostly Souls and Elden Ring for now. This month, I got a video clip of me beating Margit. I actually don't know how to pronounce it because I didn't listen to the dialogue, so I kept thinking Margaret.
Right.
But I don't know
like
if that's how you pronounce it. So
Margit.
From Elden Ring. Pardon my language. Spoiler warning for anyone who cares. Margarine. All right, margarine. Clip is from Elden Ring First Playthrough, Part 9. Thanks and all the love and best wishes to Jones and his family. Love and respect. So again, don't want Elden Ring spoilers. Anything with Elden Ring, for whatever reason, you turn away for 3 minutes. Otherwise, it's an early boss. You probably have seen it a million times by now. Alright. And hopefully this plays correctly. And play. Uh-oh. No! Why are you not playing? You worked earlier. Refresh.
Huh.
Well, I could play the file and do the capture. It's a Twitch clip, so let me just do that. Oh, no, I have to do this again. One sec. Sorry. Showcase videos. Give me a sec. Pause. I'm gonna have to shrink this down a little bit so I can still see it. And I don't have to do some little wizardry.
Why does Margaret have this British accent? That's the part I can't believe. I don't know. There's British accents everywhere. Souls games.
Yeah. Here, I like how they fix it.
Wait. I don't think you got it. Yeah.
There we go. A little crop. That's fine. All right, here we go. Ready?
I've seen this fight on Twitter. Not this particular person, but... Yo.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof, oof.
Oh my. No health. Just none. I imagine those jump attacks are like the worst in this game. Pinpointing the exact right time to move.
Fuck.
Souls games where everyone has New Jersey accent, I would go for it so hard.
Toad Shadow, I didn't know that the voice actor for this is Forchefant Livier from 14 either. That's Alphino and Alice's daddy.
But yeah, let's not stop at Jersey though. I mean, let's just get all of the Northeast.
Let's do that jumping attack again.
Let's get some Boston accents in there.
Nice. Oh no! Poise break! Ah! Alright, I like how they waited to make sure it didn't do this sword. Yeah, there they are. They are. Oh no no no!
Seal.
Nice. Oh no! Nice roll. There it is.
Hammer.
Oh no!
Don't you fucking do it.
Oh.
Roll.
So
Oh,
many
gosh.
times that you get
Roll.
so close
You
on
got
my
it.
health.
You got it. Yeah. GG.
Having random characters wander around the open world just saying, I'm walking here would be perfect. Yep.
Nice. GG for sure. All right. I believe this is our last submission.
Oh, okay.
From Mello Fellow. Hey guys, I was able to play some demos before Elden Ring and put together a little video highlighting my favorite games from the Steam Next Fest.
I thought that was so crazy. Like when Steam Next Fest rolled around and people were sending us early demos and stuff. I'm like, I don't know who's got time for demos right now.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Mello Fellow had the time.
Yeah. I kind of ran out of time and don't have an outro though. You can thank Elden Ring for that. LOL. Hope one catches your eye. Here we go. Grand finale, chat.
Nice. The upturned. Yeah, it's kind of like faux PlayStation. Gibbon. Oh yeah, I did hear about this one. Jack move. Oh, neat.
No,
yeah,
not this game.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ghost? Uh-huh. Cal the kangaroo, yep.
Yo, Crash Bandicoot.
This is like either a remake or a reboot or something like that, right?
You see, Glover's coming to Steam?
Yeah. I actually remember this, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this.
Nice.
Nice. Well, that is going to do it for our March 2022 Community Showcase. I believe it is now my responsibility once we end the stream to set the Community Showcase posts public so everyone can check out all these wonderful submissions as well as all the links included to follow these wonderful creators as well as see more of their work. Yeah, any final thoughts or anything I was supposed to say that I didn't remember?
I don't know that there's anything else to say, but yeah, you can go to patreon.com/easyallies to check those out. Click on the Community Showcase tag, which is kind of at the top of the feed there if you're on desktop. I think that it's not really accessible that well from the Patreon app. The app's never really improved. But yeah, and then if you want to join in, support us. Patreon is how we get everything done, so one way or another, consider becoming a patron. And thank you to everyone who is in that tier and has submitted all these wonderful things for us to enjoy and to share with others.
And next month, we think maybe Huber, so be on the lookout.
Yeah,
for
Huber
that.
is the going theory, but yeah, we'll look at the rotation.
Going theory. Huber. So that is the latest. If you want to have your discussion thread on the Community Showcase theories and mysteries, that's what you got. Otherwise, yeah, that is it for Damiani and Bloodworth here. Thank you all to our wonderful community and patrons, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for stream team and group stream. Don't even remember what we're playing on the group.
We're
stream.
playing Gran Turismo
Gran
7,
Turismo
so I
7.
gotta hook the PS5 back up and get that guy download. That's 100 gigs.
100 gigs. Yeah, enjoy your week, everyone, and see you next time.